Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is JLeesCorner. This is some kind of review. I don't know which one. Y'all can see the title of what it is, okay? But first things first, like if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and become a whole JayBird. JayBird. Dun 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 dun. And all that goodness and stuff. Send to yourself. Send to yourself. Okay. Okay. Do not forget that you can also like this video because it helps YouTube share it. So hit the like button. Okay. You can share the video on your social media and also comment in the comment section below. Okay. You can follow me on IG and on Twitter. Okay. At J_Lees_Corner. If it's not on the screen somewhere, it is in the description box below. Just hit the description box and get all the information you want. Okay? Okay. Hey y'all. Wait, with my glasses at so I can see. Y'all know I be blind sometimes, especially at night. Okay? Hey y'all and everything. So y'all see, I finally watched Love is Blind. Finally and everything. So this is just my little recap, okay, of episodes 1 through 10. I have not watched the reunion yet. I'm watching the reunion next, and I'll do a quick video for that too. But I wanted to give y'all my little thoughts about the season. Okay, y'all have been bugging me and tagging me and commenting. Is you watching Love is Blind? Is you watching Love is Blind? I had some time, so I watched it. Okay. Anyway, let's go couple by couple up in here. Okay, I'm saving Carlton and Diamond for last. So sit down, have a drink, have a snack or whatever, and let's chit chat. So first up, I'm gonna do Damian and Gigi. Her real name was like is it Gianna? I don't know. Gianna or Gigi got crazy eyes, and I feel like Damian looked like a young Abraham from The Walking Dead. But he also seemed like a little bit like he could be Frankenstein. If Frankenstein was in 2020, him sound like a kind of cute, weird Frankenstein or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so the whole season with these two, I feel like Gigi, the whole season, in her head had a script. And so she was always acting upon her script in her head. Not saying they gave her a script. I think she wrote her own script in her head. And that's why this season, she was a bit crazy, okay? I think she may call it, I'm just trying to be like fiery and like see, how things are gonna go or whatever. It was aggravating to me, and it seemed like it was also aggravating to Damon. Okay, now Damon real name is either Matt or Mark or Matthew, some with them, and Damon was his middle name. I'm looking like, why they did? I guess because there was a couple other M dudes in his house. So they met in the pods and everything. Oh, well, if y'all don't know what the show is about, they have all these people in the house. They date through a divider, and they don't see each other. Okay, you have to base a connection off of the conversations. Okay, that's the gist of it. Anyway, and then after y'all kind of get to know each other, you can propose to the person, and y'all got to get married in a couple weeks. So once that was talking and chit chatting, and he proposed her, Gianna, my fair lady, Ronaldi, and makes me think of the Princess Diaries. Did she make up that name from Princess Diaries? Because that was Mia's name. It was Mia some Ronaldi. I think she may be lying. Anyway, so he proposed to her, and then she got all quiet, like, as you propose to me, I want you to get up off your knees, okay? And I am now down on one knee, and I want to ask you, Damon, Frankenstein 2020, will you marry me? And I'm looking like, okay, because I'm not going to be controlled, okay? I'm going to do what I want to do, and I want to propose to you. Well, they both said yeah, okay? They then met in person, connection, cool. So they then go on a honeymoon. I feel like she was always in her head about things and just being difficult. And I mean, he wasn't as easygoing. He was kind of closed off. I think he was kind of closed off. But I think he was just like, everything does not need to be a whole discussion or something. Because even on the little honeymoon thing, they had a honeymoon before they got married. The little vacation thing and honeymoon on Honeymoon Island. when he said he was enjoying like this whole escape and he doesn't really want to go back to the reality of everything else, and he likes to hear, what do you mean? What do you escape? He like, nothing. I just mean I'm having a good time here and I like being on vacation. But what do you mean? Like, what are you escaping? Like, what's going? I'm like, girl, he mean everybody sometime want a vacation from real life. Your life can be amazing, but you still want a little bit of difference in that. So again, I feel like she was always, I feel like maybe she thought this was like Laguna Beach or the hills. It was, she gave me that kind of feel like I'm doing things for the camera. I want to say certain things, and it was like our Barbie doll, a Bobsy twin Barbie doll at that. Just kind of, just a little bit dim-witted, a little bit dim-witted, but also a bit aggravating, okay? Because it was just weird, okay? Anyway, so in the pods, they was great, okay? I love you this and I love you that. And when they first got out the pods, I love you this and I love you that, and they was having sex and all this thing. And then at the house one day, they didn't move in together because they all had to move in together. When there was a scene of them, they was fussing a little bit, and then she was in the kitchen and he in the bedroom, and they having a whole full-fledged I'm like, why y'all talking in two different rooms? Y'all are not in the pods. They usually can only properly communicate when they weren't around each other. And I'm like, it's weird. It's like, remember, I told you gave me butterflies. The butterflies are gone, and I'm trying to get them back. I want to get the butterflies back. You know how you said this is the best sex of your life? Did you notice I didn't say the same thing? And he was like, well, first of all, I said that one time. Okay? And, whatever. I'm like, it was just how she was acting. I'm looking like, okay, it's like, are you testing him to see how crazy can I make him before he bails, before he pulls his parachute savior button? And I'm like, whatever. So they made it to the wedding, though. They had a whole wedding, okay? And she looked nice and he looked nice. I ain't had time to get them wedding pictures. It was too much. Anyway, so they get down the aisle. Her dress is beautiful. They get down the aisle, and he, he's crying. Oh, he looks conflicted, but he looks happy or whatever. And she goes, oh, I put you through so much, but you stuck around, and I want to be with you. Yes, I'll marry you. And they get to him, be like, it's been amazing, but I cannot marry you. And he told her no. I said, oh shit. He said, no, I will not marry you. I was surprised. Not fully surprised. I was like 75% surprised. Only because the 25% of me that seen the train wreck, I felt like he was ignoring it. Okay? But he was like, you know what? One day she's in, the next day she's out. One day she loves me, the next day she wants to be my friend. He's like, I can clearly see that you are not ready for marriage. Not like she's not. She really, really is not or whatever. And then Gigi did a whole you are not the father run up out the chapel. I mean, she ran down the aisle, out the back door, down the driveway, down the street. I do have this one picture. She was outside in the streets in her wedding gown. I mean, she ran. Okay, Forrest Gump, run, Forrest, run, running. Okay, I'm my girl. She was running so much she fell in the bushes. Okay, she was running through the grass. Okay, through the meadow, and she fell a whole little slip. Someone get me out of here. You already gone. Get you out of America, off the streets. You ran down there. You left already, you're gone. And her mama chased her, girl, heels and all. Mama chased her down the aisle, down the street, down the driveway, and girl, she was down by the riverside, down by the riverside, okay? Don't take all my burdens, she was down by the riverside, okay? Anyway, and so the mom was speaking another language, you know what I'm saying? So it was a whole telenovela thing. I cannot believe this. No one deserves this. I feel like the only thing Damon could have told her was before they got there, I'ma say no. But I feel like they probably were not allowed to really say that before wedding day. Because I think if you know already I'm going to say no, we wouldn't film a wedding. You know what I'm saying? I think they all had the choice to make that decision at the altar or before, Okay, but these couples made it to the wedding date. Okay, so he was like, again, it is what it is. She came back in, and we need to talk. Okay, we gonna figure out why this happened. He like, because of this. Okay, because of how you're acting. Okay, one day you're hot and you're cold. You're yes and you're in and you're out and all of that. And he said, no, I do feel like she's kind of childish. I do feel like, you know what I'm saying, she doesn't realize how she comes off. Now she said to her friends, you know what I'm saying, I gave him all of me, and that didn't mean anal. Usually when anybody said I gave him all of me, it means they also had anal sex. No, what she meant was I showed him a bit of my crazy side. And sometimes your crazy side ain't good. And it wasn't. So he said no. But he then said, just because we're not married doesn't mean we're going to be out of each other's lives. I said, well, for me it would. Anyway, but again, I haven't watched the reunion. So don't y'all post no spoilers in my comment section. Because I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Okay, but that's what they look like. Okay, we have Amber and Barnett. Barnett had a choice of a few women in the house. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. He had a choice of a few women, and one of them was Jessica, who ended up with somebody else. But that's the story I'll get to when I get to Jessica's story. Okay, he ended up picking Amber. Amber is a dependent, if you ask me. She doesn't have a real job. She doesn't have like her own apartment. She has, like debt. But she has a, makeup credit card because, as she said, makeup is expensive, so I have to have a makeup credit card. I'm like, girl, your priorities, okay? And she's like a drifter. She's a drifter. Now, we did see her family and everything, and we see she comes from very meager means, which is fine. But when her mama met Barnett and said, well, are you stable? Okay, I need to make sure that you're stable and working and can take care of my daughter. And I said, well, first of all, mama, you should have taught that to your daughter. Your daughter should not be out here destitute looking for a man to support her. Okay, I always say, look, it's great to have a man to help you in life. It's something completely different when you are dependent upon that man to have a whole livelihood. Okay, I'm gonna survive regardless of who I'm dating. Point blank. Period. Not Amber. Not Amber. So I also feel like Amber and Barnett are gonna be on Cops once or twice because they also drive each other crazy a little bit. It's weird. She laughs a lot, which is aggravating. And once they were, together and engaged and all that stuff, and they were around the other couple, she was always kissing on him. I'm like, we get it. He's a handsome young man. Don't nobody want him but Jessica. You know what I'm saying? So whenever they were around the couple, she was always just kissing and kissing and kissing. Oh, my fiance. Oh, my God. Kiss, kiss. Girl, calm down. Okay, calm down. Because even if you wasn't kissing on him, if he wanted to cheat, he would have did that. But I digress. Anyway, so, when they were talking and everything, and he found out that she was in debt, that she, in debt, and how, she's not responsible. I said, oh, he's second guessing this because he is not about to marry a dependent, okay, someone who's going to depend on him. And he said, I thought when she would see my little, one bedroom, how I swear that house looked too big to just have one bedroom, or it just seemed like it should at least be two. I digress. Anyway, so because this is weird, but he said he felt like his house would be like real meager to her, like if she would think he ain't good enough. No, because in the pods or whatever, when they were talking and everything, she ain't say I'm poor, I ain't got no credit, I ain't got no money, I come from, you know what I'm saying, like for lack of a better term, a trailer park. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing, so whatever you have on that is good for me. When he seen where she came from, he like, oh, okay, my place is fine. Okay, I guess so. So, they dated or whatever. They had little bitty issues, but not much. Again, it was a thing of, is she crazy? Is she not crazy? Is she responsible? Is she really ready for marriage? Like, will I have to forever be, you know what I'm saying, saving her, from the creditors or whatever? Yes, she will. Forever. Now, they were a nice couple or whatever, but I just felt like the way that she was consistently hanging on him and kissing on him was aggravating. But she was doing it because of Jessica. Anyway, they did make it to the altar and everything and whatnot. And his real name was Matt. I said, why everybody? Well, I guess some guy was going by their last name or middle name. I don't know why. Well, I do. But I guess so it is what it is. Anyway, so the day of the wedding, she's like, he's MIA. I've been calling. I haven't talked to him or whatever. I don't know why he could be having second thoughts. Because you're dependent. Okay, he's thinking, would I get a tax write-off if I marry her and I'm paying for I don't know. So he said, I just kind of woke up or whatever and realized I just wondered if I really want to marry this person who is not self-sufficient, basically, because she's not. She really, really isn't or whatever. And she goes, I love you. I know how you drive me crazy, but I couldn't imagine life without you. As much as you aggravate me, I love you that much. That's why they're going to be on cops. Because it's going to be a day of aggravation and someone going to throw a bottle at the other one and the neighbor's going to say, we have a disturbance at the door. Can you please send the police? So the police going to come to their house at least twice. Once for her and once for him. And that should be it. But I digress. So they got married. I was not surprised. Even though Matt tried to act like he was going to, not Matt, that's his real name. Even though Barnett acted like he was going to not marry her, I feel like they're young enough to try to make this thing work between them because they too young to realize you could possibly wait and find someone better. But again, they're in love. As they keep saying, I love him. This was all within 30 days. They met and got married, but I digress. To me, this show is married at first sight, but a smarter way of doing it. Meaning that people still don't see each other. You know what I'm saying? Until they have to get married. This was the same thing to where, because married at first sight is you meet at the altar. You don't have any time to meet and pick who you want to be with or whatever. This show gives people time. They put the singles and you just figure out who you can meet with or whatever. Married at first sight is supposed to be where they put you with your best match. This is you're picking your best match without seeing them. This is the smart version of Married at First Sight, because you still have a choice to get married or not, except you are living with them before time or whatever and getting to know them, versus Married at First Sight where you get married and y'all together and then see how it goes. And then if y'all don't like it, y'all can then get divorced. This is smarter, if you ask me. But again, they got married. It was cute or whatever. And let's hope by now that she has a job or at least somewhere to stay besides Barnett house. I guess she can stay together with her husband. Next up, Kelly and Kenny. First of all, I didn't even know these two people was on the show. I feel like I only seen this. We had 10 episodes. I may have seen them a total of 5 times. Okay, and the one time I saw them was at the wedding. I'm like, did they really show them, or were they so boring? Like, did I just didn't pay any attention? I don't know, but I think at one point I was like, where the hell they come from? Like, I think on when they got to the beach, I said, where was they in the house the whole time? I had no idea these two human beings was in the house. Now, if you watch on MTV, MTV The Challenge, Kenny voice reminds me of Wes. Okay, Wes from The Challenge or whatever. I'm like, he sound like an educated Wes. Like when Wes is sitting out and plotting and planning a way to throw the game, that's how he sounded to me. I wonder if he's related, because he's also white, redheadish like Wes. They kind of favor too. I really wonder if he could be a family member of Wes. It's really driving me crazy. Anyway, I feel like I didn't see much of their story. I have no idea. I have not much recollection of these two. I don't know. What I do know is they seem boring, and what I do feel like is I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? But they got to the wedding. Okay, they got to the wedding, and she said, "You know what? I can't marry you. Can't do it." Everyone is shocked because she also kind of just walked away with her sister after saying like, "I can't marry you," and I was like, "Oh." Okay, I was shocked because it seemed through the season, the 10 times I saw them, not 10, 5, the 2 times I saw them or whatever, they seemed good together. So I feel like what was happening and bubbling, underneath the scenes that we just didn't know. I don't know. So she brings up how I just didn't care for him as much as he cared for me, and so at 30 whatever years old, I should know what the fuck I want, and I don't want this. I say, that's very true. That's very true. You should know what you want, okay? Now, when she left the wedding and like to kind of slowly walk, like she didn't run, Forrest, run. She didn't do that. She just walked away with her sister, went backstage or whatever, and then he was still up at the altar. You know, I know it's shocking, okay? But this isn't our day, okay? But you know, this is still how our story played out, okay? You know, it was still a love story, okay? And that's what. And I'm like, oh wow, it's so nice. He's so nice, cute. Now, behind the scenes, the producers, as they usually do when things unfold, they're asking you questions in the moment so they can have footage of you saying whatever you're supposed to say about what has happened. So, you think that maybe you and Kelly could get married like later on? That's not a fair question. Okay, I can't answer that. You know what I'm saying? This is wrong. I cannot even believe y'all are still. I'm like, why you can't believe they still filming? Because it's a show. It's a show. He was upset at them for asking him questions about kind of what's next. How do you feel? You know, could you imagine A, B, C, D, E, F, G? He was upset with, I'm done. Don't film me. Stop filming me. So I'm like, it's a show. I feel like he only wanted to be filmed when he was able to contain himself and still seem like this wonderful guy, okay? And then the minute he felt like, okay, I'm getting upset, I don't want this on camera, stop questioning me, leave me be, he didn't want that. He looked like a torpedo about to be pushed the button to make it go. He was about to go. He was about to go explode all over the place, okay? He then sat down and kept drinking water, but he was like laughing and smiling. To me, that is the definition or the explanation or the visual representation of someone about to go off, but they don't want to ruin their persona. Okay, and I'm like, well, you know, it's too bad, Kenny, because Kenny, that's the most I've seen of you all season. Okay, Jessica and Mark. Let me take a sip to tell y'all about Jessica. Jessica, this picture represents how you feel and look on the inside. You know, confusing, weird, and too old for your age, okay? She's 34. He's 24. The whole time, she kept saying, he's so young. Okay, I've never dated anyone so young. I don't really like younger guys. Jessica was also one of the girls talking to Barnett. And she was kind of going in between Barnett and Mark. And even though Barnett kind of said, you know what I'm saying, I could propose to you, and she was all happy-go-lucky, but he then came in the following day and said, oh, I'm not so sure. And he then ended up picking Amber. She then, by default, truth be told, picked Mark. Mark was chosen by default. He was definitely a second-string pick from the beginning. Okay, she always knew that she wanted Barnett and not Mark. So much so that, I mean, she made it known this the whole time. Now, from the first moment I remember when she met Mark in the pod, she was saying how much she liked him. Cool. So when he proposed, she reluctantly said yes. She acted like, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm so happy. I'm so happy. You full of shit. And you can tell when she lied, because when she lies, she has a high-pitched voice. Her voice gets real baby-ish. Oh my God, I can't do her baby voice. It's a baby voice, and I don't believe it. Anyway, so when they seen each other for the first time, you could also tell she wasn't too happy, because out of all the guys in the house, he was one of the shortest. I mean, he not 5'1" short, but he like maybe 5'6", and she's taller as well, so you can tell she ain't like it. Okay, I could tell from that moment she ain't like it. So, even when Barnett told her he may not choose her, the fact that she then went back into the house and was bad-mouthing him to the other ladies, I knew at that moment she wasn't shit. Mainly because the point of the show was to meet, get to know, date each other, and then pick your person. She was upset that he did not pick her, but that's the point of the show. And to badmouth him to the other women who you knew he was kind of talking to, mainly Amber, who he picked, was a bullshit move. So they then met a person, whatever, went on a little honeymoon or whatever. She was a bitch the whole time to Mark on that island. She kept making reasons and excuses as to why we shouldn't have sex, we shouldn't kiss. She was never attracted to him from the moment she saw him, but she wanted to be on the show. So she continued to act as if I'm going to try and make this work. I'm going to try and make this work. I'm going to act like I'm trying, but I'm really not. Okay, and then once I feel like once she realized and found out, oh, Barnett's on this island, and that's what he looks like. They all the couples met up, and then they all realized, oh, we all here together. They didn't know that at first. And when she seen Barnett and what he looked like, and she was more attracted to him physically, she knew, okay, I'm gonna stay in this because we all here together, and they gonna put us all in the same apartment complex when we get back, so I can still be around Barnett. I think she felt like if I can get Barnett to want me and be with me, and I'll leave Mark and he can leave Amber, because I feel like, you know what I'm saying, me and Barnett have had a stronger connection in the house. But he's picked Amber. And from that moment on, Jessica was a bitch. She was still flirting with him, but flirting with him on her side. It wasn't as if he even reciprocated anything. She would just openly talking, and you know, we had such a connection. Are you really happy? Like, she was just too friendly, trying to throw, you know, fishing rods out to catch him. Like, okay, if you catch one of these little things I'm throwing at you, and says I don't know, whatever. He did not. I'm happy that Barnett stayed, you know, committed to Amber. So even at his birthday party, she was still like trying to throw it at him, and then try to say, oh, I was too drunk, I had too many drinks or whatever. No, you was doing that on purpose, okay? You was all up in that man's, you know, face or whatever. And then when her and Mark got back to their room, and he said something about how somebody else was maybe second in line or second as attractive to her, whatever he said, she then got mad and said, you know, well, Barnett's, you know, sexier than you and I'm more attracted to him. And she was speaking some truth. He's like, what? Well, that's some bullshit. The fact that Mark didn't leave her then was crazy to me. So again, Jessica is a horrible lady. Okay, she's a bad friend. She looks 50 in the face and she's only 34. I'm sorry, it's true. She irked all of my nerves. Every single one that I had. Anyway, some kind of way, even though the whole time her and Mark were together, she clearly did not want to be with him. He kept coming. He just kept, you can tell that he knew it was some bullshit. You can tell because he was like, you know, one day, you know, she isn't whatever, and the next day she's all over me. They never had sex to my I don't think they ever had sex. Because she kept on saying, we should just wait on sex or whatever. But she would try to be on him around the other couples to make it seem as if they're great. And he would notice that, she's so fucking confused. Like, one day she's nothing or whatever, the next day she's all over me because she's crazy and deranged, okay? She kept making a big deal about his age, and then she kept trying to make it seem, we're going to have so much adversity. Why? How? For what? When? Who? Y'all? Bitch, please, okay? He's 10 years younger. So what? Y'all act the same goddamn age. So that was the big deal. Anyway, we get to the wedding day. Okay? Of course he said yes, and of course she said no. Was anyone surprised? I don't know how anyone was surprised. Mark should have told her no, because she had been showing him that she wasn't really in it or whatever. And I'm like, the reason that I feel like she's a piece of shit and she's worse than Damian was when Damian said no was because Damian was never showing Gigi he did not want to be married. Damian was trying to make it work with them, and Gigi was just batshit crazy. Jessica the whole time was being difficult. She never was acting like out the pod. She was never acting like we are going to be together at all. She did it to stay on the show. That's it. And she played it out to the end. But she knew from the moment she saw him through them pod glass doors that she was not going to marry him. She knew the minute she saw who Barnett was and how attracted to him she was. She knew from that moment as well, I'm not going to marry Mark. She always knew. She stayed on the show for the show, okay? And that's it. We don't like her now. We don't like her tomorrow. We ain't going to never like her. Taylor and Cameron. Taylor and Cameron, when he proposed to her like on day 4, and they said they loved each other. And I was like, in 4 days? What? I had no idea they were the couple who had been all on the news. Now, but it was all in the blogs as the popular couple or whatever. I was like, I was like, really? But throughout the season, I'm like, okay, I see why. Of course they got married. You know, she's never dated a white man, even though he had dated a black woman. So it was that whole thing of her having to drop her comfort zone barrier up to be okay with dating a white man. They did have a great connection. I do feel like that. I do feel like throughout the season, their trials and tribulations or whatever were authentic. I do feel like the conversation they had was great. I think her dad, who is very much so probably not for interracial dating, and he would have preferred he would have preferred his daughter to marry a black man. I like the conversation between her dad and him, where the dad said, like, you know, because my daughter accepts you, I'll accept you. But he asked, like, you know, have you ever dated a black woman? Like, have you experienced that? And luckily he had, because they are going to have some adversity in there, because it's, even though in 2020 interracial couples still have to deal with bullshit. So, you know, that's something. I do feel like maybe 15% of the time, Lauren was acting, and I don't mean that she was being fake. I feel like 15% of the time, out of the whole thing, that she was saying things for the camera, but still in an authentic way. I don't feel like she's fake, but I do feel like she's like, okay, this probably needs to be said on camera for some kind of reaction, but it was still authentic. I'm saying, and I do like these, so I do think they should be the couple favorite. What else happened with them? It could be surprising. I liked how he had a whole house just ready for a wife to move in. I'm saying, I like how she was still questioning, like, do I want to give up my whole singlehoodness, my whole, you know, womanness or whatever, to partner with this man? You know what I'm saying? I've been on my own my whole life, whatever, to give up my house and my space to move in. You know what I'm saying? All of that, I think, was authentically things that needed to be said on camera and discussed on camera, and I was happy that they made it to the end and that they got married. And to me, they're the only couple during the weddings that seem genuinely emotionally affected by it. I think him crying was real. I think her saying, you know, that he kind of helped her get out her comfort zone was real, and I liked the authenticness of this union. Okay, and it's great, and they still married to this day. And because this was a film in 2018, so I think they brought up how they had been married like a year and a half by now. Like, so they've been married for over a year. So, you know, right now they're good. Okay, and last but not least, Diamond and Carlton. Oh God. So I feel like Carlton is the worst. This is the reason why. Carlton went into this experience knowing that he was a bisexual man. There is nothing wrong with being a bisexual man. Perfectly fine. However, there is a huge thing wrong with being a bisexual man and not disclosing the fact that you are a bisexual man to the woman you plan to marry. At the end of the day, he should have gave her the choice to decide if she wanted to accept his proposal, knowing all of him. And the person that he was in the pod was a completely different person than he was out of the pod. I feel like who Diamond was in the pod was Diamond. Period. Okay, I think Diamond was Diamond. Bad wig and all. Okay, I do think her wig was horrible. It was what it was. Okay, I do think that, but I always feel like she was who she was. He put on an act in that pod. Okay, I also feel like neither of them were connecting with anyone else, and they knew that on their own without meeting in face to face. I think they both knew dating the other people, they weren't they weren't connecting with anyone else, and they knew, okay, well, we like each other. Why not try it out? Okay. However, he was a different person in the pod than who he was out of the pod. Once they met in person, you look fly. Oh, you look fly. Whatever, or however they worded it. I'm like, that's like gay best friend to gay best friend. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, gay girl, you look great. It was, she didn't see it, but I saw it. Okay. Even once they got to the villa for the little fake honeymoon or whatever, when he said, how about I get you a hat that says "Don't fucking touch," and I was like, where this person come from? And even she was like, what? Well, can I get you a hat that says "Mama"? She was like, once I'm a mother, yeah. It was something about him that you can tell he was trying to be like extra hard or extra something, and it wasn't him. It wasn't who he had shown her he was, and she noticed it very much so. So when they had a conversation at the pool, and he then confessed, well, I didn't tell you that in the past I've had relationships with men with both sexes or whatever. And she's like, you mean like men and women? And I'm like, first of all, what else could it be? He said, well, yeah. And of course she was shocked. I feel like him trying to say, I don't see, like, it's not about, man or woman or penis or vagina. I'm like, look, at the end of the day, I feel like if you've ever sucked a dick, took a dick up there, whatever, if you've done any of that, it was something about that turned you on. It doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just that's what turns you on. Just admit that, but don't make it seem as if that person, I was with that person because sexually you were still attracted. You may have liked that person. I like Beyonce. Don't want to fuck her. You know what I'm saying? I don't. So I feel like if you meet a person and you are attracted to them and then you then have sexual intercourse, it's something also about their parts that you enjoy as well. Gonna say that. And him trying to make it seem as if that's not true or whatever, to me it's some bullshit. When he explained it and she just needed some time to think about it, and he was like kind of not frustrated, but he was kind of like, he was emotional and kind of not angry, but just I can't, I'm fuck. If I tell someone, I'm like, I just felt like his reaction wasn't normal. It wasn't fair. It wasn't the time or the place. You can't then be upset because you're admitting to someone that you're bisexual. That was that first pool meeting that night, or whatever. So when they then talked like the next day or whatever, he did not even give her the chance to accept it, to not accept it. She was trying to just have a conversation about, you did not tell me from the beginning what you should have done. That was her point. Like, why didn't you tell me that in the pod? He was so defensive because he is a typical man and I posted it on Twitter. He's a typical man who was upset that he wasn't coddled because he came out and admitted that he was gay. Not gay. He admitted he was bisexual. You cannot feel like the person you confess that to, that you basically tricked into caring for you under false pretense. Because my thing is, she may not have wanted to even put herself in the point of loving you in that way had she known that you were actually bisexual. It is very distrustful. Is distrustful a word? If it isn't, just excuse me. It is very distrustful. I can't think of this word or not. To not let someone know that you are not straight. The same way if a person is gay or bisexual and they're talking to someone who doesn't say, oh, you know what, I'm actually not gay. I'm actually not bisexual. I'm not attracted to, your sexual status. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it goes both ways. People who are gay and are bisexual have to understand we can accept you for who you are and not want to be involved in it. She could have easily still wanted to be with him. She could have been okay with dating a bisexual man. The fact that he did not give her the chance to make her own choice is what she was trying to discuss. This motherfucker then went off called her a bitch, said she had a bad wig. He was mad as if he had any reason to be upset with her for his lying. He lied to her. When you do not disclose I'm actually bisexual, and does that matter? Yes, it does. Because I've said before, I would not want to date a man who was bisexual. Mainly because if in any time of us being together, if he wants something else, I don't have that. You should be with someone who is actively okay with being with someone who is bisexual. I would prefer to be with someone who is actually just straight, who just wants vagina. Because that's what I have. Okay, I have vagina. Okay. And the way he talked to her, yelled at her, called her out her name, and was just rude and dismissive and ignorant to her is a bunch of bullshit. He then was on social media trying to get sympathy because of the backlash he received. The backlash that Carlton received had nothing to do with him being bisexual. The backlash that he received was about how he treated Diamond and how he didn't tell her the truth and how he tried to play victim to his own lie. It was crazy. That's why he got backlash. That was the reason. No one was like, oh my God, he's gay. Ugh. Well, some may have, because some people are just ignorant and dumb. However, the majority of us people who are, not crazy, was not upset that he was bisexual. We was upset because of what he did and said to Diamond, who was, again, just trying to have the conversation of, you were not honest with me from the beginning. You could have told me, at least before you proposed, this piece of your truth. If you told me everything else about you to get me to care for you, that should have been a part of it. Okay, and so of course they broke up from there. They didn't go any further. And I mean, Carlton is a piece of shit. He still deserves love, but in this situation and what he did on the show, now he clearly lied. He came on the show fully knowing he was bisexual. He had dealt with men in the past, and that he was purposely hiding that from Diamond. That's why he ain't shit. Okay? Anyway, that is my whole recap for episodes 1 through 10. I'm about to watch the reunion. That will be a separate video, and then y'all will get that later. But yeah, Carlton pissed me off. I was so pissed. When he called her a bitch, I was like, oh my God, the audacity. And that's why some people do not like gay and bisexual men who try to deal with straight women, because you get upset and then we bitches and hoes in bad wigs. He reverted to a stereotypical person who would say, oh, that's how a gay person would act. So he put himself in a category to be boxed in as a typical upset, either gay or bisexual man who was cussing and fussing at the female because of his truth. But your truth was a lie because you lied about it. Okay, I'm for real. I'm done for real now.